Good morning, all. So, I have this topic materialized views. So, in the materialized views, we can perform the DML operations on materialized way using the two methods. That is, one is on demand and another is on commit. Okay. So, without that, we cannot do any DML operations. Okay. In Oracle, we are refreshing the materialized way using two ways. One is on the on demand. It is the default refreshing method. So, in this method, we are using the to refresh the materialized view by using dbms mview. dbms underscore mview. This is the procedure. This is the one of the procedure we are going to use this. So how will you use this procedure? To use that, execute dbms underscore mview dot refresh of what are the our materialized view name. So using this command, so we are going to use update this or refresh the materialized view. So normally what happens, so once we create a materialized view, so after any update in the table, it won't reflect in the materialized view immediately until unless we refresh or commit the table. So normally in the views, what will happen? Views will get the data from the base table only. Okay. So when you create a view, it will go to the base table and fetch the data and display the information. But coming to the materialized view, it will store separately in the memory so that when you update in the table, so it won't reflect in the materialized view immediately until unless you will refresh the materialized view. Okay. Suppose we are changing any, we are updating any table. So already yesterday we have taken this materialized view. So that is weight materialized view MV21, this one. Okay. Select star from. So this is having the 3 records only. Okay. So how will you use this? How will you refresh that one? So once we update in this main table. Okay. So what is the main table for this? Create a materialized view. That is the table. This is the table. So on this table, so suppose if you perform, you update any record. Okay. Now what is this? Rohan, Madan, Vinod is there. Here we have the capital letters it is there. So suppose I will insert one more record into this. Insert into STU 200 underscore 21 values, serial number 103, comma, so I'm going to insert extra record into this table. Okay. So in this table, data is inserted, but in the materialized view, is data is reflecting, it is not reflecting. Okay. So I'll commit this still also in the materialized view, data is not updated. When it will be updated? Once you refresh the materialized view, then only it will be updated. Execute dbms underscore mview of mview dot refresh our materialized view. Okay. So this is performed successfully. Then you can check this materialized view. Okay. The fourth record also, it got updated here. Okay. So that means materialized view, it won't update immediately whenever any changes in the base table. When it will updated, when you use the on demand or on commit refreshing methods. So this is
Sir, why it is shown output as PLSQL?
this is the procedure actually. So on demand to refresh the materialized view, we are going to use the two methods. On that methods, one is on demand, one is on commit. So in the on demand method, we are going to use this dbms underscore mv dot refresh. This is the procedure actually. Okay. dbms mv, this is the procedure we are going to use with this refresh command. Okay. So when you are using the package dot procedure or only procedures, you are going to use the execute command. The execute procedure name we are giving. For the procedures, we have to pass the parameters. If there is any parameters, that parameters we have to pass it here like this. Okay. So in the materialized view, what will happen? So when you create a materialized view, it will store separately in the database. But when you create a view, it won't store the separately. Okay, yesterday I have shown that some information that row ID. Okay, so whenever we are using the row ID, so what is happening? So when you create the table, so yesterday we have seen this. Okay, so row ID in numbers we have seen. So in the table, when you use the row ID concept, this is the row ID numbers. Okay, 9N, AAB, AAA, like this. When you create a view also, same row ID it is displaying. But when you create a materialized view, it is 9S, AAA, 9S, AAB. So that means this is row ID is different. But when you check this view and table, these two row IDs are common, means same. That means when you create a view, it will get the data from the base table only. Okay, but when you create a materialized view, it is creating separate structure for this table in the database. That means it will get the data from this materialized view only. Whenever you are fetching the materialized view, it will not go to the this table. It will go to directly materialized view table structure and it will get the data and display information. But whereas in the view, what will happen? So it will go to the table only. It will go to table and it will display the information. Okay. So in this scenario, what will happen? So materialized view cannot be updated immediately or it will not refresh immediately until unless we use these commands on demand and on commit. So in the on demand method, we are going to use the execute dbms underscore mview dot refresh of materialized view name. Okay. So in the it is the syntax we have to use this for update the or refresh the materialized view. When I execute this one, what will happen? This one. This is the procedure. So procedure when you execute, when it is successfully completed, then this is the message we are getting. Okay. So when I execute any procedure, then you will get the, when the procedure is successfully executed, you will get this message, PLSQL procedure successfully completed. So if any errors are there, then it will throw the error. Suppose if I say, if I mentioned without this one, then it will say usually PLSQL compilation error action is the error. Encounter the symbol, error message is ORA -06550. That is the message error. Okay. So when it is successfully compiled, you will get the message PLSQL procedure successfully completed. To refresh the materialized view, so one method is this one using the execute dbms underscore mview dot refresh. Another is on commit. So on commit, what will happen? So when we can refresh a materialized view without using this dbms underscore mview also, but using the on commit method. In this on commit method, you have to follow this syntax while creating the materialized view. So you have to create materialized view name, refresh on commit. This you have to use this one. Refresh on commit, this keyword, extra keyword you have to use while creating the materialized view. So that means what will happen when you insert a record into the table, once you commit, automatically materialized view will be refreshed. So we'll create one more table and we'll insert that some information and we'll check this how it is going to work. So create table STO 300 underscore 22, serial number, primary key, student name, where cut of 20. So table got created. I am going to insert into this table. So 3 records I am going to insert this. Okay. I'm doing the commit also. Select star from STU 300 underscore 22. Okay. We have the 3 records in this now. So now we'll create a materialized view with a refresh. Create materialized view STU 300 underscore MV underscore 22. Refresh and commit as select star from STU 300 underscore 22. This is the table for us. This is the base table, and on this table we are going to create the materialized view. This is our materialized view. Now we have the data here. Now I am going to insert one more record into this. Then immediately it will insert into STU 300 underscore 22 values 103, comma, I'll say I will insert ABC. So now one row inserted. If you check this table, table got 3 records. But when you check the materialized view, is that there is no, it is not refreshed. Okay, only 3 records are there. When it will update, so when you do commit, so you committed, now you can check this materialized view. Now this updated. Okay, that means there are 2 methods too for the materialized v2 refresh. One is using the dbms underscore mview procedure. Another is while creating itself, we are using the refresh and commit. So refresh and commit means once the data is inserted, when you commit, automatically materialized view will be refreshed. Okay. So all the views will be stored in the user underscore views. So Okay, in this, all the whatever views we are creating, that will be stored in this base tables. So how will you drop the view? Using the drop view name. This is the syntax, default syntax. You have to drop the view, you have to use this drop view name. This is for the views. So what about the materialized view? So materialized views will be stored in the another table, that is select star from user underscore mview. Okay. All the materialized views will be stored in this user underscore mview. So all the views will be stored in the user underscore views. Okay. To drop the materialized view, what you have to do? Drop materialized view mview name. Materialized view name you have to provide. Okay. So I have created this. So materialized view 1 we are created now, that is STU 300 MV underscore 22. So where can we check this? In this MView, we can check this where MV underscore name is equals to this one. So this is the materialized view information here. You can check in this materialized view base tables. That is query select STU 300 underscore 22 dot serial number STU 300 underscore 22 dot sname from this table. This is storing in the different format here. Okay. What is the query for this? Select serial number, select sname, serial number comma sname from STU 300 underscore 22 table. That is the query, but it is storing in the different format here in the table. Okay. Refresh method is the commit. Whenever it is committed, it will automatically refresh it. So build immediately. Suppose if I say like percentage value, what are all the materializers will be there with this name. So it is displaying this one. 200 also is there. Okay. So how this one yesterday we have created for this. What it is saying here. So this is the refreshing method on demand. Okay. This one is the on commit. You can see this is the materialized view yesterday we have created. This is the materialized view today we have created. So this is with the on commit. Immediately materialized view can be refreshed. But this one is on demand only. When it is on demand means we have to use the procedure, that is dbms underscore mview dot refresh. We have to call, then only it will be updated. It will be refreshed. So what is the difference between the materialized view and normal views? Okay, in the normal views, it does not store any data. Okay, So materialized view stores the data. Okay. When we are dropping the base table, then view cannot be accessible. Same way when we dropping the base table in the materialized view, but materialized view can be accessible. Okay. So suppose you are created the materialized view, this one. So this is the materialized view. Now I am going to drop the table which is the STU300 underscore 22. Still we can access the data. So how it will be? This is the materialized view. I am going to drop this table. Okay. Table is dropped. Now still the materialized view I am able to access. Whereas in the view, so you cannot access once the base table is deleted. So the table were created here. First they we have created some table now. Yes. Let them I'll create one more view. Create a view. View name that is v underscore 22. Select the star from EMP1. Okay. So now the view is created. I can select star from v underscore 22. So you have the data. I am going to drop this table. So table is dropped. Now can I access this one? It will throw the error. View is getting data from the directly from the table, so that when you drop the table, so it will throw the error. So but whereas in the materialized view still you are able to access after dropping the table also. That means view is storing the data. So whereas materialized view is storing the data, whereas view doesn't store any data. We can perform DML operations on view. We cannot perform DML operations on materialized view. Structure it should be same for the table and view. But in the materialized view, it is having its own structure. It will not depend on the table. Okay. These are the main difference from the materialized view and normal view. Okay. So this will be the main difference here. The view does not store any data. Materialized view stores data. When we are dropping the base table, then view cannot be accessible. When we are dropping the base table, then also materialized view can be accessible. We can perform DML operations on view. We cannot perform DML operations on materialized view. Structure it should be same for the table and view. It is having one structure. It will not depend on table. Okay. Any doubts on the views? Okay. Next, I will move on to another topic, that is pseudo columns. Okay, pseudo columns. What are the pseudo columns? So I explained in the previous topic somewhere. Okay, what are the pseudo columns? So pseudo columns are behaves like a table columns, but it is not in the actually stored in the table. You can select from the pseudo columns, but you cannot insert, update, delete their values. So it will be automatically filled by the Oracle only. So under SQL, you have the below pseudo columns, that is user, this date, this timestamp, and per value, next value, row ID, row number. Okay. So these are the pseudo columns available in SQL. Under PLSQL, we have SQL code, SQL ERRM, new code. Okay. So these are all called as pseudo columns. Suppose if you take the user, select user, comma, UID from dual. You are getting the user, and that is apps, and UID, user identification is 65. Then we select this date from dual. You are getting the data. Same way if you use the this timestamp. You are getting entire date, time, seconds, and time zone also here. So next curve value means it is returns the current value of the sequence. So how we are using that curve value? So we are using the sequence sequence name dot curve value. Suppose we have the sequence SEQ, then we can use the SEQ dot curve value. Same way next value SEQ dot next value. Okay, in the sequences we have already seen this sequence dot current value, sequence dot next value. So both the current value and next value can be used only in the select list of the select statement, value classes of the insert statement, and set class of the update statement, where we can use this current value and next value in the select statement, and in the value class of the insert statement, and in the update statement. Only in these three only we can use this current value and next value. But this date user, this is the you can use anywhere. Suppose if we create a table, create table department underscore demo underscore 22, department number constraint, department number underscore pk constraint, primary key, dname varchar of 20, location varchar of 20. Okay, so now the table is created. So we'll create a sequence on this for this table. Create sequence dept underscore department number sequence underscore 22. This is the sequence name. Increment by -1. Start with 10. Minimum value 0. Maximum value 10. No catch, no cycle. So now we are going to insert some records into this table using this sequence. So how will you insert this? Insert into our table name. Is the table name. I have to use it. Okay. So here I'm going to use this sequence name. Okay, insert into DEPT demo underscore 22 values department number dot seq dot 22 dot next value HR Hyderabad. Same way here sequence dot next value sales Mumbai. You can check this. DEPT underscore demo underscore 22. So here if you see, first it was inserted department number 10, after that 9 it is. Why? Because increment by -1 here. Start with 10, so that it is started the sequence with 10. So after that increment by -1 means 10 minus 1, 9. Suppose if you insert one more record, so it will be 8. Like that it will reach, once it is 0, then you cannot insert more than that. So this next value where it is available? It is available in the sequence, but you cannot directly update this one or you cannot delete its value. Okay, you cannot insert into this sequence, but you can use this sequence using this next value to know the your doubt. Voice is not clear, Umareddy. Okay. So next we have the row ID. This is the one more pseudo column. So it is a pseudo column in the table which stores and return row address in the hexadecimal format. In the database, each row has unique address. The row ID pseudo column returns the address of the row generated automatically while inserting records into the table. Row ID is alphanumeric. Row ID is the permanent unique identifier in the database. Okay. So in the database, each row contains a separate unique identifier, that is row ID.